Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Les doy la bienvenida nuevamente al podcast de Mavi. En esta segunda temporada empezamos con un invitado súper especial. Se trata de nada más y nada menos que Paulo Jr, el bajista de la banda legendaria de thrash metal de Brasil, Sepultura. Con él hablamos sobre lo que fue la creación de su más reciente disco llamado SepulQuarta, que fue creado completamente en cuarentena y con invitados de lujo. Así que si les gustó este video, les pido que por favor le dejen un like, que se suscriban a mi canal y también pueden activar la campanita para enterarse de futuras publicaciones. Además, me pueden dejar en los comentarios a quién les gustaría que entreviste en una futura edición de este podcast. Ahora sí, les dejo con la entrevista a Paulo y les doy las gracias por pasar nuevamente por este canal. Hi,
Morning.
Paulo. How are you? Good morning.
I'm having some coffee and watching the volleyball game as well and talking to you.
Yeah. I'm also having a coffee because we are early birds today to talk about all of what you're doing. So first of all, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Well, so as I said, we are here to talk about your upcoming album, SepulQuarta, born in quarantine. But before, let me ask you how all of this situation affected Cuadra, your previous record.
Affected everything. We had
Yeah.
to stop, even before we even started. We didn't have a chance to even go on stage when we got the news. We were at the rehearsal pads, practicing, and it was about 2 days before the travel day. And then we just shut it down. Everything is like, just went home. It's like, fuck. Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And we just been waiting since, and then SepulQuarta came in. The idea was, to keep us busy, in touch with the fans, in touch with the crowd, in touch with the friends, family, and was it one of the way that we did find to keep us busy a little bit back then, because that was the most around the biggest lockdown for here in Brazil, at least, but I believe most of the countries around the world. So
yeah, so this album, SepulQuarta, as you said, is full of collaborators, thanks to what you have been doing during the lockdown. So what special things do you find about an album created this way?
I think it was, something that really marked the current quarantine time, and it was special that we have the chance to play with different people that some of them are very good friends, but we never had the chance to be on stage with them, and some of them I didn't know and end up getting to know each other. And it was a great experience, even that we did from far away from each other. Even the four of us, everybody was at home playing with the tools that you had, at the time. Try to, and it wasn't not, the idea was not really to have an album out, but at the end we started to listen and came out better than we thought it would be. So. And then we gave the files to a professional guy to just sound better. There was no overdubs, nothing else done through it. The process, whatever was recorded, it is that way. We just made it sound better, mixing wise and mastering wise. So that's the final result. Everybody was pretty happy with it.
So do you think like you have captured the essence of those days, and it is like a very raw album?
I believe so, because playing, it's we, the four of us, we know each other for a long time, so it was different, but at the same time we know each other. So for us, it was a little bit to adapt to with the guests as well. We did some minor changes in some of the arrangements and some of the songs to fit everybody, not to everybody to be comfortable with. Because it's everybody that it is in the record. The idea was to come and to feel part of the project in a good way. It was not a tricky or challenging thing. It's just to have a good time and have some fun.
Yeah. So is it your first experience on working like this, like remote? And what things did you learn from this kind of work? Because you're not creating or recording in person with all of the guests.
It's definitely different. And after that, I done some stuff, and I've been doing some stuff as well, remotely. It's weird, but for me it's weird, but it works. I think it's the new upcoming thing. There's been a lot of people doing that. The only thing that we still cannot do is really to play live at the same time together because of the sync of the internet in a different country. But it's something that can be done. Nowadays you can record the whole record from a computer. For a little, even on your telephone. You have tools to attach your bass, your guitar to a telephone and record an album. At least some ideas together. It's crazy. Which is the future. In a sense, technology really helped us through this quarantine time. I think was one of the things that saved most of us. Was the technology and to be able to see each other, to talk to each other, to communicate, and the art itself, and the music, the movies, cinema. I believe that really help the people go through the hard times. If we didn't have that, if it was in the few decades ago, it would be very tougher, I believe. But no, I think the technology really helped us to survive and go through easier.
Yeah, so that led me think about the beginnings of the band, when a song took a long time to reach the other side of the world, but today everything is a click away. So what do you mean? I don't know if you miss something about those times that you probably don't have now, or vice versa. Like, what things do you have now that will have made the job easier before?
I really like the vinyl that came back very strong. Something that we had it a lot on the beginning, in our career. And I think I really miss the most, I believe, is writing letters, sending postcards. We don't do that anymore. We just go on the telephone and go like 2 clicks, take a picture and put in the social media. Sometimes I miss that, because I used to write postcards, and in a lot of the cities that I went through, to my family, to my parents, my brothers, individually, to each one of them. I think is one of the things that I miss the most. Buy stamps and lick it up and put it go to the post office to do that. And it was a very unique. I still have some of the old letters that I received from that we used to exchange back then. It's and back then was would take like a month for a letter to reach Europe, and then another month to come back. So it was today is like 1 second. So I think that's what I miss the most, and I would come back with an envelope full of pictures, and was more excited. I believe today's it's too easy.
Yeah. So making music at that time is so different from making it today.
Yes, as well. We didn't have as much nowadays. When we started, even to get a guitar effect, the instruments itself, it was very hard to get here. The imported stuff was a very closed country for imports, and whatever was coming into the country was way too expensive, and nobody on our on our social position could afford to have it. So we only start to get better equipment when we start really to travel and get to know the outside of the country. Nowadays is a lot of people has a lot of privilege that we didn't have back then. Too many choices, too many things, too many.
Yeah.
Too many of everything.
Yeah, the hyper connectivity, like everybody say. So, well, in this new album, I was reading, you are going to present new versions of your classic songs. So I want to sing, as you revisited Sepultura's work, how was your process and what emotions have surfaced?
It's like readapting, especially with the guests, to make everybody comfortable. Some of the songs I can remember. I know we stretch a little bit here and there, so the guests could add a guitar solo on it, or something that was only done by Andreas. So the guest would have a space as well. On the drum part, Eloy would go, and I believe there was a couple of songs that had more than one drum, so we had to readapt that. It was more a rearrangement and readapt to make everybody comfortable. And it's not only being about the band, but about the project itself. To make everybody comfortable and able to be played. So that was the idea.
So do you think rearrange the songs is always a challenge? So and I guess each of these guests makes the new versions unique.
Depends. Most of the time, it's not that hard, because everybody ends up being in the same pattern.
Yeah,
clicking very very fast. It's very unusual to have a hard time, but it's like a matter of really clicking in and and embracing the moment, I believe.
Yeah. So we are almost running out of our time, but there's a thing that I I always ask myself. So having been a metal band that sung in English, did it get you detractors who claimed why they didn't sing in Portuguese?
Because Portuguese is a very complex and hard language.
Yes.
And for one of it's very hard to put fast songs. We tried some of the songs we did try. Some bands does that very well, but at the beginning we really wanted to be like the European and the Americans, so we had to sing in English. And English is like it's like to try to sing a samba in Japanese.
Yeah,
it would be very different and weird.
Yeah.
So we just choose the easy path. Like English, even that we couldn't speak the language well, but at least we could pick the words to make it sound okay.
Yeah. So and
also
then
with the time we mix a little bit here and there with the Portuguese.
Yeah. I was going to say also English connects you to the word. Like it's funny because I can speak in Portuguese, but I speak Spanish and I do speak in English, and you speak English, and we are now speaking in this language because none of us can speak the other language.
Better.
Yeah.
Unless if you're doing an interview with Andres, he can speak the Castellano much better than I.
Yeah. Yeah. So another obligatory question for me is, how do you see the health of metal in our region and then in the world?
I think it's being very strong. There's a lot of new artists coming up, and a lot of new bands, doing with the technology nowadays. Like I said before, it's much better conditions for the new bands to show the music. They have more tools than we had on the past, and I've seen a lot of bands that is starting, and already like in a couple years already having a tour in Europe, having doing small tours, and at least it's a great beginning. Something for us that it was very hard back then. Nowadays you have a different approach, and I think it's you have more options than that we had back in the past. But I think in South America, it's a very strong, it's a very heavy metal country.
Yeah.
All the bands that come in over here, they always want to come back, and it's gonna be like that, growing, and I believe it's one of the strong audiences in the world for sure.
Yeah.
You can see in the festivals when you do big festivals here, there's like lots of people. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was reading also your mother was your number one fan, and you told in an interview that she went to church once with the Bestial Devastation t-shirt. How did you remember that?
Yeah.
How did you remember that moment?
Because my mom nowadays she's 83 now, and
Yeah.
she doesn't go out of the house anymore. But she's very Catholic, but she has the whole Sepultura collection. She have rooms like beside mine, right here, and she has. I never see anybody has so many Sepultura shirts, and she's very devoted to São Judas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
São Judas Tadeu, and on the every 28th of the month, she used to go to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And one day she was going with the Bestial Devastation shirt. I look at her, I was like, dude, what's wrong? It's like, don't talk to me. I'm your mother. I was like, all right, you do whatever you want, but that's not good.
Yeah, because
so it's just a funny fact.
Yeah, so funny. But that's also talk about how supportive your parents are with Sepultura.
Well, they were very supportive. All of our parents.
Yeah.
If we didn't have the support from them, we never would have made it, for sure.
Yeah.
The family was always involved. They still are, and they're very proud of what we achieved, and without them, we couldn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, also I can finish this interview asking about if you remember your shows here in Paraguay.
Remember the first? Yeah, remember the first one.
Yeah.
It was very unique, and I was very surprised because there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's good, and I hope that we can go back. Sometime. I don't know when, because with all of this still happen, the pandemic is still here, so we need to wait for the decision of each country. If we're available to travel, to get into the country to play, all the rules change by each country. So we really have to wait to see, but we definitely are going, and I don't know when.
Yeah. We don't know. So well, Paulo, thank you again so much for your time, your answers, and I hope, like you said, that we have the opportunity to have you here to present Cuadra and SepulQuarta and all of your songs.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time as well, and I hope to see all of you soon, and I hope this weird time, just go away, because we need to go back to our life.
Yes.
To go back to our normal lives and work and give the people some music.
Yeah, it's so necessary and important. So thank you so much, and
thank you.
Gracias por llegar hasta el final de esta entrevista y no te olvides de suscribirte a mi canal. Si te gustó este video, dale like y hace clic en la campanita para que te notifique cuando publico nuevos videos.